Hey, good morning, church. Um, it's just some thoughts for today that I'd like to bring to you this morning. Over the last couple of months, you will notice that we spent a lot of time together as families. And there's a time where you're exposed to each other as parents, as couples, and as children in the house. You spend much more time together. There's been some shocking statistics in the last couple of months that there's been very higher incidents of domestic violence as a result of families spending much more time together, and therefore victims of domestic violence have very little room to escape. And that's very heartbreaking. The other thing I've also noticed is in the last couple of months we've spent much more time together with our children. And as a result of that, you are seeing your children in the same way, the way you're meant to see them, but because you're spending much more time with them during the day, helping them to do schoolwork and do parenting and just teaching as well, there is no escape route to second certain part of their life to somebody else to do for you. No Sunday school teacher on Sundays to give them to do super gang, and no school to send them to during the week for you to be relieved of them. And that's challenging. But that's the same way God sees us as his children. God has been looking after us 24/7, and he's our Father. I've been reading a book from Dr. Tim Kemmel entitled Grace-Based Parenting, and what this book has taught me is how God has been gracious to us as our Father, in a sense that he wants us to also see our children in the same way and just see them gracefully the same way he sees us. And he's given us a couple of freedoms that allows us to be his children that he has called. So first of all, God has given us freedom for us to be different. All our children are different. They all have various different temperaments. We cannot measure them up with the same yardstick. Some are more stubborn than others, and some are easy to manage. Same way Father God sees us in the same way. We are all different. And therefore, this is time for us to see our children in the light of the way God sees us as his children. They are all different. Secondly, God has given us freedom for us to be vulnerable. Vulnerable in the sense that we're able to express our hurts, our emotions, and our feelings, our pains, things that bother us, which are sitting on our minds. We can come boldly to God and just express it to him, and he will not shove us away. And therefore, we should create that space, that avenue, this safe haven in our homes as well, so that our children will also be able to express themselves. The book of Ephesians, chapter 6, verse 4 says, as fathers, don't exasperate your children by coming down hard on them. Take them by the hand and lead them on the way of the master. And this is the Message version. So that's really good that we have to give children the freedom for them to be vulnerable and also see them that they are different. The third thing that God has helped us in, has parented us in a way, is he's given us freedom for us to be candid. Candid or candor for us to express ourselves just as it is. Children say just as it is. They shouldn't be shy to say what they want to say. They can't hide, put a mask on when they come in front of us. The book of Hebrew tells us that we should come boldly into the throne of grace, just how the grace is given us, that we can speak to God just as the way he wants us to express our love. So we should give our children the freedom to be candid, to be able to say what's on their mind to us. And finally, God has given us an incredible grace for us to make mistakes. Freedom for us to make mistakes. And in fact, we learn from those mistakes, make these mistakes become stepping stones for us to learn from them. And as you spend more time with your children, you're going to see their faults, black and white in front of you, because these mistakes that they do during the day where you're away at work, you're going to see them now. The little chatbacks and stuff like that, you're going to see the mistakes. But that's how God sees us. God gives us the ability for us to make mistakes. He disciplines us graciously in the right way so that we learn from that as well. So discipline is a form of grace as well, but God is giving us the ability to see that as well. So in this time of lockdown, as you spend time with your children and your family, just love your husbands and your wives well. Just think about the fact that you're closer to each other much more this time, and there's an incredible grace that you're going to use to parent your children, that you give them the freedom for them to be vulnerable, to be candid, to be sure that they're different, and also to be able to make mistakes. I hope God bless you this week. Have a nice day.